Hi, people, and welcome to our third episode of the Immovable Show. My name is Lucy Kamau, and today we will be talking about self identity, and that is identity of the self outside the construct of the external forces, the society, the church, occupation, and all that. And today we are lucky to be honored with a guest who is going to contribute greatly to our topic, and he's going to introduce himself.
Welcome, everyone. I think you should be welcoming me. I'm the guest. By my names, do we say by my names or by my name?
Name. You don't have names, you
Yeah,
just have one name. Yeah.
that's a form of identity also. How do you identify yourself before other people? Or how do you take yourself before other people?
Yeah.
Dan Kanyoro, my name, and
What do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I am a market person. I mostly sell vegetables, which say fresh products. You know, I'm a Kikuyu and the Arairo problem might come in. So I
We
do
understand.
the fresh products, selling warus, nyanya, and kitungu, ginger, garlic also. Apart
Where
from
maybe
that,
people can want to know where you sell these products so that they can come and buy.
that's the Goto, Kikuyu, and also Wangige Market. They call that side of the location Kabete area, where, okay, I can say on the side, I'm a media producer and I'm honored to be at a media. We can say a media enclosure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for adorning our show today. Now, we will be talking about identity of the self, and I tend to believe that identity of the self is one challenging topic that many scholars have tried to have a concrete definition of, and still there is no scholar who has been able to have a very clear or precise definition of what self-identity is. But there are different ways that we can explain what self-identity is. And I believe identity can be measured by who you really are and knowing your purpose, and also understanding what you really stand for. What do you think self-identity is according to you?
From whatever you are saying, I think even the scholars that you have mentioned, while they were trying to go deep into self identity,
Yeah.
I guess they were also trying to identify themselves or find their own self identity.
Maybe not.
It's a large ground we can't cover. We can cover a bit of it,
Yeah.
which can be helpful to another person.
True.
Or we can just share our own ways in which we are using to identify ourselves.
Yeah.
So self-identity, I say it's, from my own point, we define it with what sets you aside from other people. And that is the general knowledge of self-identity. But again, we go into another self-identity. Other than the self-identity that sets you aside from other people, what's the self-identity that identifies you as a person? You know, we are told we are mammals.
Yeah.
We identify cows with milk.
Yeah.
We identify sheep with meat and something, maybe the fur.
Fur, yeah.
But what identifies you? Not your eyes, not your lips, not how you abuse others.
Yeah.
There is the inner you. That's the ground we're going to cover. It's so large. It contains the spiritual, the physical, and also personal.
Behavioral.
Yeah, character-wise.
Yeah.
And we will go one by one, from character to spiritual and now the physical.
Okay. Wow, that is a great basis of definition of what self-identity entails. And today we are going to ask you one question. What do you identify yourself as? You. Who are you as a person? Because I know self-identity is a topic that is so confusing. And today we are entirely focusing on who you are as a person outside what the society identifies you as, or who you are identified as in your church or in your occupation or in any other thing that you engage in on a daily basis. We want to know what makes you different or what makes you stand out in a crowd or in a place that you go, what makes you unique. That is all we'll be focusing on today. And I think trying to identify yourself is such a big deal because you'll be very confused and also not unsure. You'll not be sure of whether you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing, because maybe you're trying to do something and you feel uncomfortable, and you're not sure if whatever you're doing is the right thing or it's the wrong thing, or just going beyond what you're supposed to be doing. But um, I know that when you're fully aware of who you are, it's such a very cozy feeling. And being fully aware of who you are sets you aside from any external influences that might hinder you from accomplishing anything that you want to do in this life. It's all about knowing who you are, setting your boundaries, knowing your worth and your value, and also having standards that define what you are as a person. And Kanyoro, I know trying to identify yourself is such a big deal. You may not be sure. You're like, most of the time you try to know who you are, but it's a very confusing thing, you know? Like you're not even sure whatever you're doing is the right thing,
A
whether
simple
it's the wrong
example
thing.
from myself. I have I have identity on different levels. Maybe not this from what I can say, the public appeal from other people. There is one that people identify me as Rasta. That's so
Yeah.
common. There is another that people refer to me as a media producer
Yeah.
with the hashtag Kanya Story. So you'll hear someone to calling me, hey, Kanya Story, Kanya Story. Then you'll know he's in line with maybe a tweet I did or a piece I did on social media
Yeah.
that they came across.
Yeah.
And there's another person who will identify me as Jamawa Waru.
Yeah.
So whoever I take products to get chips from, to sell chips, they know me as Rastawawaru, ama ule Jamawawaru. So
So
that's a
they have
wide,
a different
yeah,
belief of what your identity is.
those are four different people who could be, we say it in
Trying to
Kikuyu,
construct.
no, it will, they say in Kikuyu, Moshene. These are four people who could be on a round table discussion, discussing one person with neither of them knowing that it's the same person.
Yeah,
Because for
true.
this one, he will say, I have a Jamawawaru. He has rastas, he's very good, and I just like the guy.
Yeah.
The other one will be like, I have a photographer, or I have my media presenter. He's called this and this, he does this and this. Then the other one will introduce another person, maybe another rasta that he knows. Even in our church, we fellowship with a Rasta. He's a very good person. He does also photography at times. And the farmer there knows me as the boss because I buy the products from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So the farmer also have their own. So it's a 5 people discussion of me with all of them having a different picture or a different attribute.
Yeah, they identify you with
Yeah, different,
whatever
or the ground
the
that we
activities that you engage
with them.
with them. Yeah.
But there's something that sets me aside, or there's
From
that one.
all those five
Yeah,
things.
or there's that one thing that one of them will mention. Huyo jamani roho safi. Waseme,
Yeah.
na kama huyo jamani roho safi anaitwa nani? Anaitwa Kanyoro. Aya, hata wangu anaitwa Kanyoro. Hata wangu basi ni jamaa mmoja. Hebu tuone DP yake ama namba yake ni 0720. Aya. It's the same person.
Yeah.
That's when they'll start now talking on looking for points that huyu na huyu ameokota nini yenye ni common. One of them will be maybe not the generosity part of it,
Yeah.
or the creativity part of it,
Yeah, the kindness.
the kindness, the selfless point of it. Huyo jamaa hufanya mambo yake kivyake,
Yeah.
na hasumbuange mtu.
All right. Okay. Point 2, boundaries. I think boundaries, setting boundaries on
What was point 1?
point 1. It's about, okay, we were just giving a definition of what self identity entails. And you gave us example of the five people who you interact with on a daily basis,
Yeah.
and what they try to figure as your identity, and then they all come up with one thing that makes you stand out, that identifies you, that they can identify you with, and that is being selfless, or the kind guy, or the roho safi guy. That is what make you stand out from all the five canyoros they were talking
They were
about.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll be talking about boundaries. I think boundaries is another um it's another, I don't know whether to call it a trait or aspect or a parameter that determines who you are as a person, letting people know the extent to which they can uh, get into your life. And maybe like you can have boundaries on the basis of time, like you're a time conscious person and you let people know there's an extent to which someone can use your time,
Yeah.
and you feel they're not serious, and so you're not going to put up with it. You can also let people know that you value peace. So when someone comes to you with a lot of noise, they're talking at you, they're shouting, they are complaining to you, and you feel they're crossing the boundary,
Yeah.
you let them know that I don't stand for people who come to
This and
me
this.
with causing, conflicts and commotion and all that kind of thing. So, what is your take on personal identity of the true self on the basis of setting boundaries?
I think not on boundaries, it's not a question of if or not to do. It comes with, it's like the military perception of instructions. While in the barracks, you don't have a choice. When it's your turn to watch the tower, you don't have a choice to, I'll go and sleep over there, I can give my shift to another person. You don't have that. It's a stated principle, it's a stated rule that comes with consequences when you go against it. Now that's what happens with boundaries. This is something that you'll have to stipulate. You don't have to write it down, and you don't have to go keep telling everyone,
Yeah.
don't do this to me, don't cross this line, don't cross this line. We people go where you lead them.
True.
With a conversation, I can't ignite anything unless you lead me to the next point.
True.
And if I ignite, then I've gone against, I've gone past your boundary of
Yeah.
this interview.
Yeah.
So, what are boundaries from everybody's point of view? What sets you or what makes you know I can do this? So, with the boundary is what is this
It's
force driving you, and that when you go against it, it's a form of regret that will bring regret to you.
yeah.
I can create a boundary. For instance, I don't argue. No matter what, I'll never argue because I'll lose my temper when I argue.
True.
So, other than I know I lose my temper. So, what boundary have I created to never have an argument? So, whatever form of heated conversation you think you will have with me, or whatever interest in the topic, or how burning the topic you will bring, and think that I will start arguing and
Trying to
chanting,
prove yourself right
yeah,
or wrong.
I won't. Because the moment I break that boundary, I'm now prone to hitting anyone, and anyone is prone to hitting me.
Okay,
So,
so
with our self,
boundaries are a way of trying to control
they
their,
are undrawn rules, they are unwritten rules
yeah.
that govern. We call them instincts or intuitions. They are what our intuitions tell us. Those are the intuition set rules. You can go, just like the respect thing. You're not forced to respect any old person.
True.
You're not forced to respect any pregnant woman. But the moment you see a pregnant woman trip, for a lady they'll scream. For a
Yeah.
dude they'll rush and try to hold them.
Hold, yeah.
It's not
It's a
something written.
natural, it's something that comes out
Yeah,
naturally.
so for your boundaries, what are the natural boundaries that you set, or what are the natural things in you that come out without you forcing them? You know, there's some people who are forced to be charitable. Super rich people, but they will only be charitable when they are told kutakuwa na kamera na watu wa media watakuja. That's when they will think, let me be charitable because it's a public,
Create a visibility.
fame,
in
it
the
will
public
create fame
domain.
and something. But there's someone who just meets a person, they need help, and they remove whatever they have from their pocket and give it to them. So whatever sets you aside with self-identity is what are the stated rules in you. You must have an unwritten rule in you.
True.
Same as a parent gets rules for their parents, for their kids. Kwangu hakuingiwi nyuma ya saa
Past
tatu.
6, yeah. Okay.
Hata ukiwa mkubwa itakuanga kwako kuingia kwa hao past saa tatu ni dhambi.
Yeah, you've broken
Ama unaona
a rule.
umechelewa, ni vile unaongea na mtu ni saa 5 usiku, unamuuliza ni aje, umefika kwako? Hapana, niko tao. Rada, bado mapema. Mapema kwako ni saa ngapi? Na mapema kwangu ni saa ngapi?
True.
So we have our own boundaries and we need them. If you're a person who loses temper, well, maybe out of an argument, just avoid arguments. If you maybe come out abusive while drunk, avoid
Avoid
getting
being drunk. Or you
Or
avoid associating
getting
with people
drunk.
once you're drunk.
Yeah. If you get your creative space while alone in a quiet room and you have your friend over, your friend likes music, just set a boundary. Not that in my house there's no music. No, in my house there's cool music, or you can put on your headphones. With boundaries, to finalize, it's just to what extent can something be done until it bothers you?
Yeah.
Or to what magnitude do you condone someone doing something or people saying something? Or to what extent do you yourself allow yourself to do something? So the challenges that come with having boundaries is that people at times lack an angle, or the super, we call them the super hyped people. There is a person who can come to you shouting your name from all over.
Every corner. Yeah.
How are you? Long time.
I know.
And you're this person, when a person comes to you,
Reserved,
you're
yeah.
a mad person, man, when you come shouting and doing everything.
Yeah.
So some challenges come with it, but it's respect that we earn when someone sees a challenge with your boundary and the boundary that you're comfortable with.
True.
So the challenge that comes with whatever boundary you have set, no, it's a respect. Because no matter what, those people will still come to you for whatever they want, regardless.
Yeah, true. And I tend to believe that it's okay for you to set boundaries, and it's also okay for people to feel uncomfortable with the boundaries that you've set for yourself. Because as you said, it's respect for you. Because of course, people may feel like it's boring for you to have set so many boundaries
When I don't
around
call
your
you
life.
after 10.
Yeah.
Some people say, don't call me when it gets to
Past
10.
10, don't call me.
So when you call me, I cut off your phone, even if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
You do whatever you will do, but next time you will remember not to call me after 10.
True. So it's okay to set boundaries because that identifies you as a person, and it makes people know that there's a limit to which you can condone behaviors that people exact on you. And we're also going to talk about self-identity on the basis of self-confidence, because I believe self-confidence enables us to escape many pressures that come from the society, and also helps us to go about our daily lives in a better way. For example, when you're confident and you feel you're fulfilled in everything that you're doing, and you know your self-worth, you know your values, you know your standards, it's very difficult for you to be influenced by any labels that people put on you. You cannot, maybe someone tells you that you don't even look good, you look, I don't even know how you look. When you're self-confident and you know, like, I know myself, so whatever opinion you think I am, that is your opinion, and I'm not going to buy it. So I believe self-confidence is one great thing that we should embrace as a way of identifying ourselves to people. Or what do you think about that?
Confidence, I can say, is what an example is what has made a person like Steve Simpleboy the person he is.
Yeah.
We know him, this guy with not some deep voice. We can call it an alto or tenor
True,
voice.
true.
He's in his own zone. You know, he's not high, he's not sober, but he's unique.
In his own way.
He has his own message that he's preaching to us.
Yeah.
And no matter the critique that we
He
give
gets
him,
from external forces.
he
yeah.
does not change.
Yeah.
Whatever he puts on, we can go saying he wore tattered clothes, amevalia kiushamba, but to him,
That's what makes
his
him
confidence
unique.
to stand before you in those tattered clothes, that's
And-
what has made him to be Steve Simpleboy that we know.
Yeah.
So no matter what, confidence is one thing that's not easily built. You can't just take anyone and put him maybe against the president and expect him to air our views. But there's that one person who will be, hey, go talk to the president. And he's like, what do you want me to talk to the president about? I don't feel like talking to him. So far, he's confident that the president is not worth his time.
True.
His time is more worthy to himself than whatever he's going to
Addressing
address.
someone, yeah.
We will not take into consideration that this is the person who is in control of everything, maybe in this
Sure,
country.
Yeah.
He can shut the internet. He can,
Yeah,
you know.
no.
But this person does not give into whatever demand because of whatever confidence he has for himself. What makes him walk chest out? That's
Yeah.
something.
So that last point that you've said, it's basically putting your needs first.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, whatever you prioritize, it should first focus on you before you focus on other people. Don't be a people pleaser.
To support it, you touched on something that maybe you put someone else's interest before yours.
Yeah.
In business, we say that's not business. Because in
The
business,
interest of the customer is
no, let them not lie to you. That the customer is always right. No.
Why?
If you come to buy potatoes from me, I'm selling currently at 4,500.
True.
So if you come tell me the price is 4,000, because you are right, I sell it to you at 4,000.
Okay.
At
It
times
depends
you-
with
at
what
times you
angle
will-
the
yeah.
customer is right.
That's the simplest basic angle. We are the
The
customers.
pricing.
Yeah, we are the customers. We are complaining right now about the fuel. Hata uende petrol station ngapi, hata utukanane mara ngapi, mafuta utauziwa ile ile bei.
True.
So the customer is always right, but your approach to the business, what respect have you given the business? And that's what we said with the boundary. What I've set a boundary that this and this should not happen, and to stand for this boundary, that no one should call me past 10, even
Yeah.
if it's my dad. He will call me and I'll pick up the phone, tell him, oya mzae nimelala na siongeangi usiku.
True.
Kata.
That's confidence in itself, yeah.
I think there's no other best definition of it.
All right. Wow, that was a great show we had today. And you're going to wrap it up and just point out the brief points on the way you can measure whether your self-identity is strongly developed or it's still poorly developed. And the most or the main points that we've talked about, one is confidence and the other one is boundary. But in those 2 points, there are sub points that you can break out from them. And one of it is being a people pleaser. If you're a people pleaser, just know that you're still on the road to self-development, because you should put your needs first if you really have identified who you are. The second point is, do not tolerate ill treatment from anyone. Value your peace and value your standards. Don't let anyone to just come to you and talk at you the way they want to feel you. Some people go through situations and they want to let their anger out on you. So don't let people use you as a dumping site for their anger. Let people know your boundaries on how they treat you. That is another point on self-identity. The other point, it's about abandoning our own needs and putting others first. Always ensure that you're the first priority in everything that you do, whether it's at your workplace. If your workplace is not building you, if it's not growing you, then I think it's not the right place for you to be. Your work is supposed to take care of you. You're not supposed to be taking care of your workplace. The other point, don't strive to you if you don't strive for greater things or for self-development, just know that you're still on the process of self-development. When you know who you are and when your self-identity is strongly developed, you know what you want to do, you know what you want to achieve in life, and so you have goals that you are working very smartly to achieve. So that is all that we were talking about today on self-identity. It's a broad topic. We may not exhaust it today. That's where we wrap up our discussion on self-identity. I hope you've learned a lot. And I'm going to give Kanyoro an opportunity to wrap up with his parting shot on the topic.
It goes without saying that everything that has a start, obvious, comes to an end. But
Sure.
we can't come to an end of this discussion, which is self-identity. Whatever we have discussed might touch on our own self-identity. Without us knowing on your own self-identity, we can't have come to the end of the discussion. So I'd urge you, our viewers, thank you for your time, but please give us a feedback or give us a simple explanation of your understanding of self-identity, so that next time when we have the same discussion on the same, at least I can get an angle, or the next guest will get an angle of where to approach from or where next to touch. And to our viewers also, make sure you come up with your own boundaries, come up with your own set rules that will govern you as an individual, and make sure you stand out, because tunaambiangwa hata fingerprint hazifanani. Kwa hivyo kuna kitu inakutambulisha kando na wengine. Thank you. Kanyoro here. God bless you.
All right, thank you for that, Kanyoro. Thank you for your parting shot. Viewers, we hope you remember to subscribe, share, and also comment. Give us your thoughts and opinions on this topic that we were talking about, that is identity of the self. And you can also participate in this discussion on our social media platforms, that is Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube at P.C.E.A Youth Fellowship. Thank you. Bye.